Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new, my name is Jaco. I am in a different setting today. I'm not in my typical room, and I wanted to really just speak to you guys one-on-one today, and kind of just have a raw talk. I don't really have a specific topic for this video, other than one little thing. It's gonna be a little bit echoey in here. I'll probably get a mic for next time, but this was a very impromptu idea. To just set up the camera here and talk to you guys like this one-on-one. Last month I generated $117,000, or a little bit less or more, revenue. Now that's not profit. The profit last month was between $23 to $27,000, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome to be making that. And this month I've made a little bit less, but I've still made quite a bit of money this month as well. I'm not really gonna get too much into exactly what it is that I do. If you guys are new, you guys can watch my other content. But today I really wanted to speak about kind of what actually genuinely was my mindset and what I think you guys should be thinking about when it comes to generating. Once you start generating a little bit of money, how should you go about thinking, right? How should you go about placing your mind in a place that allows you to be grounded and not think of yourself as above everyone else? Because I'm not above everyone else. That's just the first thing that I'm going to mention, is I'm not above you. I am not better than you. I am not a better human being than anybody. Because everyone grew up differently and everybody's path is very, very different. I know some 19-year-olds that are making literally $50,000 a month, and I compare myself to that guy. I feel less, but the thing is that I know that by comparing myself, obviously it's a paradox, because comparing yourself will allow you to do greater things and to do more, but also comparing yourself to these YouTube guys, to these gurus or these entrepreneurs that are online and showing you guys all of the wins, you don't understand and see how much they've lost, how much they had to sacrifice to get there. Obviously, people on Instagram, people on TikTok, they are only going to show the wins. Something that I also wanted to speak about today is there's a lack of trust in the online space right now. I checked out this one guy's page recently, and I'm not going to call out any names, but this guy was running paid ads for his course, and talking about how he generated $1,000 in one day, $2,000 in another day, and showing his Shopify dashboard, showing that number. And to the average viewer, they assume that's what they made, right? That on Shopify they made $2,000 and that's what they took home. They don't understand. They show their dashboards, and people make it out to seem like it's a lot bigger than what it actually is. And all of that is not actually profit. So these people are like literally manipulating you into buying into their shit, so that they can make money off of you. And it made me think about the lack of trust that there is in the online world. And it's true, there is a lack of trust for sure. All right, you guys are gonna have to deal with that noise from the fridge. But I've been watching this show recently called Ozark. And in the beginning of the show, he says this very interesting quote that stuck with me pretty well, and I think this applies for all of us here who are actively, trying to come up. That you guys are trying to make it, whether that's in day trading, whether that's through e-commerce, whether that's through organic dropshipping, or any other online business model that you guys choose. I think it applies for the mindset. And so the main character, he starts talking about money because he's a financial advisor, and he says, most people think about money the wrong way. They believe that it's an exchange of goods and services, which is the very common way to think about it, or that it's an intangible, right? That it's security, that it's freedom. That's what money actually is. But at its core, you as the person who is on the path that you are right now, you have to believe that money at its essence is a measurement of a man's choices. And once you start thinking about it in that way, you start understanding and realizing that, it's up to you. It really is up to you entirely whether you decide to make it or not. It really is your choice, because I promise you that as soon as you have the proper mindset, as soon as you start behaving in the way of the person that you want to be, instead of trying to reach out to that person or trying to reach out to the future, you want to bring that future to yourself. And I've talked about this many times, but the absolute best way to believe that it's possible for you is to behave that it's already happened. And eventually, what's going to happen is that the universe, or the frequencies of the world, or whatever you want to call it, or God, is going to start testing if that's true for you or not, if that really is who you say you are. And He's going to start bringing opportunities for you, and you're going to see more opportunities. You're going to hear about more things. You are going to look at life through the lens of that person that you want to be already. It's called the be, do, have mentality. And I know that a lot of you guys have already heard of that, but it is entirely true. And no matter how corny, no matter how cliche it may be, yeah, mindset comes first. I promise you that genuinely, the same night that I applied this to myself and actually genuinely thought about it and meditated about it, that same night when I stayed up until 4 in the morning and I really, really put myself in the position of the person that I wanted to be, and I let go of all of the other insecurities, I let go of all the past anxieties that I had, of other things, past girls and past relationships or past problems or embarrassing moments that have happened in my life. I let go of all of it. That same day was the first sale that I had on my store. And it's crazy because it is actually true. All of that shit is true. And I didn't believe in any of that before. I was a very logical person. I'm very logical in my thinking. I've always had debates about atheism. I've had debates about God. I've had debates about free will. What is this? What is that? Philosophy. I've always been into philosophy. But I've always been a very logical person. And now I understand that there is a room and there is a space for logic in your life, but there also has to be a position, there has to be room for faith. There has to be room for belief. And it doesn't have to be God, but it has to be faith in yourself or something else, because this mindset thing is purely illogical. It's delusional to believe that if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, it has to work, right? A smart person, a logical person, is going to believe that, obviously, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to move on to the next thing because it's not working. But you see a bunch of people online making a shit ton of money, and they act pretty retarded, they act pretty stupid. It's because they stopped thinking and they just kept doing it. No matter how delusional, no matter how illogical it seemed, they knew it was possible because it happened to other people. And again, these people online talking to you, they are not better than you. They are not smarter than you. If anything, they're dumber than you. They just knew to keep going and to stay consistent. That is the only thing that you absolutely have to do. That is my only advice, is you have to apply your mindset. Believe that you are the person that you're going to be before you become that person, and stay consistent with your thoughts. Think positively, and apply the law of attraction. If you guys don't know what that is, it's the belief that you attract what you think. It's as simple as that. I hope you guys enjoy my little rant, but yeah, that's it.